Hey all, Marty here. I wanted to invite you to our live call every Tuesday, 1 p.m. East, 10 a.m. West in the ACB community.
If you want to listen live, you can tune in on ACB Media 5 or bring your questions live. Check us out in Clubhouse or visit acb.community to get more information about how you can join the Zoom calls. The replays are also shared on your favorite podcast platform. Search for Unmute Presents.
This has been an ACB community call.
Today's Unmute Presents community call was hosted on Tuesday, February 27th, 2024.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Unmute. As usual, here at the top, we got some announcements. First thing is we want to make sure that everyone gets through the first questions first. So if everyone gets their question answered first time through, then we'll take second questions. Also, make sure that you stay, brain fart. We want to make sure that everybody gets the same respect that you get. And so please give everyone that opportunity. And remember, there's no dumb questions. The question of the day today is, do you use earbuds? And if you do, which ones do you prefer? And do you like in-ears, over-the-ears, full-size ones? So that'd be interesting to hear what all of you have to say about that. And with me today, as usual, I've got Michael Babcock. How you doing, Michael?
I am doing well, Marty, and I appreciate that. I am fond of the Shox headphones. I'm always wearing my Open Run Pros because they're so lightweight. They keep my ears open, and though they don't have the best sound quality, they're awesome to be able to let me navigate my environment without having to struggle to hear things. So yesterday, we published on Technically Working an episode called Navigating the Waves, Audio Mastery and Self-Care Insights. Very interesting conversation with Demasi and myself about how he almost walked out on the Randolph Shepherd training program in Alabama on Wednesday due to sensory overload. And I think he needs to hear that DKM ad if we're talking about sensory overload. So definitely something to give a listen to. Really enjoyed that conversation. And we talked about some new voice recorders. Marty, myself, I think Zoom got a lot of money out of the group of colleagues. On Sunday, Unmute presents Digital Byte. Do restart earbuds was what I gave the title of that. Little clever play there. As you may know, on the Digital Bytes content, which comes out every Sunday now, we have 3 segments. One is an app review, one is a mobile tip, and the third one is a review of some hardware. So Chris reviewed some earbuds that kind of stimulated the question for today. Marty showed you, again, from our 2022 podcast episode, how to tell Siri to restart your phone. And then I shared with you an annoying reminder app. So if you have problems where it comes to remembering to do things, yes, I'm looking at myself here, then you may want Due, spelled D-U-E. It is an $8 application. On the Shell Phone Show, we shared how to turn off the phone, both using the menu and with your voice. So if you're interested in that on the Blind Shell Classic 2, definitely give that a listen. And that is the content we've posted over the last week. Sheila, who do we got first?
All right, Jane.
Hey, Jane.
Hey, Jane.
Hello. And yes, I'll be getting my Zoom H1E today. I am
It's nice. I got mine yesterday.
Waiting.
You're the second person who has told me today that theirs coming today. And I thought mine was coming today, but it ended up coming yesterday.
But I just have a tip for those of us who like to reset iPhones, which I had yesterday, not thinking that I forgot that I had my passcode enabled. When I reset my phone, all of my accessibility settings, including Siri, went away. I tried plugging into the Mac until it said passcode or I had to get sighted help to even enter my passcode. So do note that if you're going to reset your phone.
That's interesting. So was this before the actual reset process, or was this after the phone reset and then it came back on?
So I just did the, just the settings reset, entire phone, which then left all my accessibility options were like there was no shortcut, no Siri.
Yep.
And so then I thought, oh, okay, fine. I will plug it into the Mac and look at the Finder window. But no,
because you have to trust that Mac because you've reset all your settings. So you're not able to see the iPhone in Finder at that point.
Yeah. And that was fun. I literally had to get sighted help. So if you ever stuck, just remember, I don't know how to turn on. Well, I shouldn't have turned off my passcode in the first place, but you might need some sighted help to get.
Beautiful, Jane. Thanks for that reminder. So just to recap, if you go into settings, you go to general, you go down to reset, erase and reset, and then you choose reset all settings. That's going to do just that. That's going to reset all of your settings on your phone, including the triple click of the side button or home button, which is set up as a accessibility shortcut setting. Because you reset all the settings, that disabled that. In addition, it will also disable Siri because, again, enabling Siri is a setting. So it's doing literally what it tells you to do. That sounds like an oversight on Apple's part, but definitely appreciate that feedback. Thanks, Jane. Who do we got next there, Sheila?
Teresa.
Hey, Teresa. We don't hear you, Teresa.
You're muted. All right, we'll go to Beth. Okay. Oh, there you are.
Hey, Teresa. Go ahead.
Getting my star 6 wouldn't cooperate with me.
Gotcha.
Okay, I have, I guess you could call them old school earbuds, the kind that not in your phone with just one single piece, just, 2 earbuds, 2 buds, one for each ear, and it's a little plug that whatever I'm listening to, if it's got a place to, for a 3 millimeter, 3 millimeter jack.
Yep, 3.5 millimeter.
That's 3.5 millimeter. Okay, that's what I use. I know that sounds old school. I prefer the kind that loop on your ear, but if I can't get those, at least I like the kind that are gummy. I do not like the plastic, it's kind of plastic for the earbuds because those things used to irritate my ears very badly. So I prefer the gummies better.
Okay.
Even though sometimes those come off. But I know as things get more technically advanced, there are ways to get the type of earbuds that you can pair with a device rather than having to plug it in. And this way you can walk around freely, with the earbuds in it, but you don't have to carry that particular device with you unless there's a reason you need to.
Yep. And I'll tell you, Teresa, using the 3.5 millimeter headphone coming from an audio background is going to be the most accurate and give you the highest quality of audio. Even though Bluetooth is good, you're still going to get some degradation and compression because that's the nature of Bluetooth. So don't feel bad about still using those headphones because they sound good. And as long as they keep working, then you're good to go.
Right. And when I'm in bed at night, I prefer earbuds because, headphones would be kind of cumbersome when you're trying to lay your head on your pillow. So earbuds work better.
Yes, ma'am. They do have sleep phones, which is a soft headband that goes around your head. And it's got soft speakers that sit near your ears. And people do find those to be even more comfortable to wear than headphones or earbuds. Those are Bluetooth, so you don't have to worry about twisting yourself up into cables and stuff. But that's what some people use to sleep with as well.
Where can those be obtained?
AT Guys sells them. You can buy them on Amazon or sleepphones.com.
Sleep, SLEEP, and then PHONES?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yep. Or, of course, give us a call to AT Guys and we can help you out.
Okay.
Perfect, Teresa. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Who do we got next, Sheila?
Beth.
Hey, Beth.
Beth, you're muted.
Okay.
There you are.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
we can hear you.
Yeah. I just encountered I wanted to use my Bluetooth wire, either the headphones, the earbuds, and it said kept saying power on, and I've been charging it and it didn't say connected. Now I know it's pretty windy here, so I don't know if that has something to do with that, because if it needed to be charged, it would, when I wouldn't hear the phone for a while until I wouldn't hear anything on the through the head earbuds and until it said connected. So, or
so what kind of earbuds do you have, Beth?
Huh?
What kind of earbuds do you have?
It's a Bluetooth. Bluetooth. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, that doesn't help. So what I would suggest is reaching out to the manufacturer, whoever you purchased them from, and ask how to put
Walmart.
them in. Okay, so you need to look up at how to put them into pairing mode, because it sounds like they're not pairing to your phone. If it says that they are powered on, then it sounds like they have battery power. But if they're not paired with your phone, you're not going to hear your phone at all.
Oh, maybe they had. Yeah, because before I didn't hear my phone, but when I still heard my phone, like today. Today, I still heard the phone. I just didn't hear it through the ears.
Yeah. So when it says powered on, then that's coming from the earbuds themselves. That's not coming from your phone. Right. So as I said, it sounds like if you don't hear connected or something similar to that, and you don't hear your voiceover through your earbuds, then they need to be put in pairing mode. Now, what could happen is if you go to your iPhone and then you go to settings, and then you go to Bluetooth, you can there could be two sections in the Bluetooth section. The top section is the paired devices section. Right. So that's devices you've connected to your phone. You can go there and see if the earbuds show there, and then try to double tap on them and see if it connects.
Yeah.
If it doesn't connect, if it doesn't connect, then look in the bottom section, which is listing all of the items in your area that are currently in pairing mode, and then try to double tap on them in that bottom section. And that should get them connected for you. Okay.
And just make sure you don't connect to your phone, your neighbor's earbuds.
When I got them, I paired them myself. So I'll probably have to, something happened that they need to be paired again. Thank you.
Yep, that is possible. And give that a try, Beth, and let us know if you have other questions. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Of course. Sheila, who do we got next?
Marie.
Hey, Marie.
Hey, Marie.
Marie, you're still muted, dear. All right, we'll come back to Marie. Pam.
Hello. I'm sorry. I came in a little late.
There you are, Marie.
Got it button. You'd think I'd know better. I like the Apple AirPods Pro, except for the short battery life is not wonderful. And so I actually like the Apple wired earbuds. They're really great. Sound is great. I know you got a wire, and that's kind of a problem. But my question is, I use the Shox Open Run, not the Pros, just the Open Run, and I have them paired to a 13 Pro, and they work absolutely wonderful. And I did the multi-point sharing and paired them with my 13 Mini, which is my primary phone that I usually have with me when I go out somewhere. And it connects and it shows connected, but I get nothing through the headphones at all. Nothing, no sound. You have any ideas whatsoever other than having to just return them? I can't figure out
one thing you could check is there's actually like two volumes. The Shox have a volume setting, which you can pump the volume up on those, but there's also a phone setting where you can pump the rocker volume button up. So if your Shox volume ended up somehow going all the way down to nothing, then you may not be hearing anything, or it might be very quiet and you're not hearing it. So a lot of times what you have to do is figure out where the happy place is to set the volume on the Shox. And once you have that, you just leave it, and then you can go with the volume on the actual phone from there. But
actually, I've tried both of those things, and I still hear nothing.
Huh? So here's what I would do. And of course, what I do is not necessarily always the right answer, but it's what I would try. I would try to reset the Shox open runs to factory defaults, and I can give you those directions if you need them. And then pair to the iPhone 13 mini first and see if you get audio, and then use the iPhone 14 as your secondary pairing device.
Okay, should I forget it? Should I forget it on both devices first?
That's what I would do. Yeah, go ahead and forget it after you've reset the Shox open runs. Go in and flick down on the Shox in both devices to delete, and then you can delete those from, it's either delete or more options, and then go in and remove those from both of your phones, and then set it up as a brand new pair. So if you turn the Shox on by pressing and holding that volume up key, continue pressing it for about 3 to 5 seconds, and the Shox will prompt you and say pairing mode. Once it's in pairing mode, hold the multifunction button, so the button you use to play pause audio, the volume up and the volume down buttons for 3 to 5 seconds, and then turn your headphones off by pressing and holding that volume up button again.
Okay.
That's what the directions say. I think it actually turns them off for you automatically after you reset them. But once you've done that, then turning them back on will automatically put them into pairing mode. And then, as I said, reconnect them to the 13 mini, see if you get audio feedback from that. And if you do, then put them into multi-pairing mode, and then you can pair the 14 with them as well.
Okay. I probably won't do I'm not crazy about multi-pairing. So if I can get them with the 13 mini, I'll be happy with that. Thank you.
I'm not crazy about multi. I mean, it's cool that it's a thing, but for me, it's very unreliable.
It's iffy. Yeah.
Yeah. And then if you forget those directions, of course, there's the podcast that you can go listen to, or the Google search that I typed in real quick was reset AfterShok's open run to factory settings.
Okay.
And that'll pop up a quick Google search under the heading that says, I should stop talking and actually know what I'm talking about first. It says featured snippet on the web, and then that gives you the 4-step process there.
Thank you, Michael.
No worries. Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
Who do we got next there, Sheila?
Pam Coffee.
Hey, Pam, how you doing?
I'm doing okay as far as I know.
Oh, good. Glad to hear that.
Yes. I wanted to answer the question of the day. Yes, I am a very enthusiastic user of earbuds, headphones, depending on what I'm doing. Right now, I am on a headset, Bluetooth, that is an actual headphone. It goes over the ears. It's not one of the real expensive ones, like, it's not an Apple whatever. But it works. It sounds music sounds really good on it, and I'm a music person. So, and even though it is not noise canceling, because it has very substantial padding around the headphones, it muffles a lot of the extraneous sounds, which is wonderful when there's a racket going on outside.
I imagine.
Now, when I am out and about, I don't want everything to be muffled. So when I'm on the go, I use earbuds, just inexpensive earbuds that don't muffle the sound. And if need be, I will even take one out of one ear if I need to, hear traffic noise or whatever better. And if all else fails, I'll pull them both out until whatever the thing is I need to hear is past. But because they're earbuds and they're teeny tiny, they don't take up a lot of room when you're on the go. And, you can put them in your pocket, or if it's the kind that has the little collar thing around, the loosely fits around your neck, and then the buds are actually connected to that collar by a short little wire. They're easy to maneuver when you are out on the go. And I like the ones that have the longer battery life, because it's not good when you're out somewhere and your headset suddenly, or your earbuds or whatever, suddenly die. And I do still have a 3.5 millimeter, the little earbuds that are wired, that I'll use if necessary. But yes, I am a firm believer in headphones, headsets, earbuds. Again, depending on exactly where I am, what I'm doing, determines which one I'm on at a particular time. And I have gone through many of them over the years. I've worn many a set of them out.
But once you find that brand and that style that you like, you tend to go back to them, I imagine, because that's definitely how I am. Once I find a pair that I like, I want to try to find those again.
I do that to a point, but oftentimes, if I know one is probably nearing the end of its life, I'll look for the specials. And it's not always the same brand, but I'm looking to get something decent, but save a bit of money in the process.
Yep.
So I don't always, and I really don't have a favorite brand, because there are any number of them that I have liked. There are a few that I just haven't cared for as much, and I don't get those again. But I'm not as particular as some people are on their earbuds or their headphones.
Gotcha.
I do want it to sound decent. I want it to have good battery life. And most important, I want it to work. Hello.
Exactly. Well, thanks a lot, Pam. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. Thanks.
And before we go to the next hand, I just want to encourage each and every one of you. I see we have 4 hands here, so don't be shy. Feel free to raise your hand. Sheila, who do we got next?
Len.
Hey, Len.
Hi. Hope you guys are doing well today.
Thank you. Hopefully you're doing well.
Hopefully you are as well.
Yeah, thank you. So I use I have an iPhone, and so I use the Apple wired headset. Plus, I use the Power Beats Pro sometimes, and sometimes I use the AirPods, which are my favorite. And then I use the AfterShokz for what we're on now, webinars. Trying to think of the name. So the thing is, I wish that they would make it easier on the AfterShokz to use the mic, because you can't do that very well when you're like dictating to the phone.
So by easier on the mic, you hope that they'll like make it so the mic can hear you better, or what do you mean?
Yeah, because on my phone, I mean, like if I want to do a search in Bard or whatever, I have to turn them off, and I have to do it.
Yeah. Which are you on the Shox right now? Because you're sounding pretty good right now.
Right, but I guess I do in the when I'm actually on the on the calls, but when I try to do anything on the like dictation wise, like I was trying to dictate a message today to somebody in the Messages app, and it just wouldn't hear it.
That's frustrating. I can't say that I've encountered that myself. It might be worth resetting your Shox and seeing if something got
really, because I thought that was the thing about
settings.
them, though. I thought that was a big thing with them, that they didn't hear the that you couldn't do that very well with.
It could be with older ones. I'm not sure which specific Shox you have. I can say I don't have that issue with the Open Run Pros.
I don't think I have those.
Yeah.
I got mine are about 6 months old.
Okay. Do you have the open comms with the microphone on the left side?
Yes. And
Okay.
I have to bring it down. I have to bring it down to speak.
Yeah. That's good to know. I will have Demasi do some testing, because he has my test pair of open comms, and see if there's a setting that you can enable to make that work. But I can imagine the frustration with that for sure. And sometimes it is easier to just turn them off, do the dictation, and then go on with your day. So thanks for letting me know that you struggle with that, because that's good to know.
Can I ask a quick question?
I
didn't have one, and then you made me have one. Thank you. No, so I use an app called Revision Fitness. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
I have.
But anyway, I use that app. I just started using it, but I have a roommate, and she's noisy, so it's hard for me to have it like out in the air when I'm doing there's a classroom app or a classroom part of that shows you the exercises.
Yep.
Can you recommend any kind of earbud or headset that would not be ruined by, like, if you have to lay on that one side or whatever? I don't know if there even is such a thing.
So you mentioned AirPods. AirPods are, I believe, IP67 rating, so they won't get ruined if you have some sweat and stuff with them.
So I have to be very careful with those, and I'm telling you, because I have a very narrow ear canal, and so they don't stay in well.
Okay.
And so it
changing
probably
out the
have to be
tips
a
on them
banded
and putting on
headset, I'm thinking.
the smaller tips. They usually come with different
Nothing.
tips.
Yeah, and I've been like I have to go to an ear ENT because I have problems with cleaning, and they said that, I mean, I'm using the AirPods and they're fine, but I have to be very careful which head positions. Like I couldn't lay down with them because they would never stay in, and he told me that AirPods will never be good for me for that reason.
So one other suggestion for you could be to not overcomplicate it and just use your open comms.
Really? They won't? Okay.
Because
I was wondering
they're
about the
designed
sleep
for
phones that you were
runners.
talking about.
So they're fine with getting sweaty, and that's what Aftershocks business was started for, was for people who are athletic. So if you're comfortable with wearing those, I would just wear those instead of overcomplicating it. Sleep phones would work, but the problem with those is you're going to get sweaty, so you'll have to pull out the the earpieces and then wash that band so it doesn't become stinky.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, but the Aftershocks would work then, huh?
Yeah, the Shox would work just fine because they were created for runners. So unless you're sweating more than a runner sweats, then I think you should be good to go.
And they don't go in your ear, so you don't have to worry about the canal part.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
The gotcha is they're not going to block out that noisy roommate.
Well, that's okay. As long as she doesn't have to hear my exercises.
There you go. Well, thanks for calling in, and
Thank
we
you so much.
appreciate it. Sheila, who do we got next?
Janet.
Hey, Janet.
Hey, Janet.
Hello, everybody.
Hi there.
I was going to say that they also make headband earphones. I'm not sure what they're called, but my husband has a pair of headband. You put them on like a headband and they have your earphones inside of them type thing.
Okay. Yeah. That kind of sounds like possibly what the sleep phones are. They go around his head and they sit on his ears.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like a soft fabric.
It's got a button in the front that's your pair and all that. Yep. And I also like pillow speakers for reading books and stuff.
Yes. Yeah. Someone introduced me to the pillow speakers a couple of years ago, and I had never heard of them. And those look pretty cool. So I appreciate that.
I actually have a pair hooked up to my Victor reader. So
there you go.
There you go. So you have a great day.
Yep,
you
thanks,
too.
Shannon,
Thanks
you
a
too.
lot.
Mary Beth.
Hey, Mary Beth.
Hey, Michael. Hey, Marty.
Hey, how are you?
Quick question. Good. Doing okay. You guys I'm with Marie. I'm the wired headphones or earbud. And lots of times I'll travel with my iPhone. So I have, earbuds with a lightning cable on them. I guess as you guys were talking, I was thinking, do you guys know of a single ear, either headphone or earbud or something with a lightning cable?
Not a single one.
Yeah, I'm sure they exist, but I'm unaware of a single ear lightning earbud.
Now, what you could do is you can get, and they have actually, this is interesting, they created the Apple wired Earpods, they're called, and they have a lightning port on them, and they're both connected to the cable, but you can drop one out of your ear and only use, whichever side you want to use. You don't need to have them both in. It would just hang down a little bit, I guess, but you could use, that's just one that Apple sells. It's a white cord with a lightning cable on the end, and you can use either ear, either both of them, or one at a time. And it's got a microphone and a volume rocker and a play pause button right in line on the cable. So you would just want to make sure that if you're not using that side, that you know where the button is if you need to either turn the volume up or down or hit play or pause or whatever it is you're doing. But they've also upgraded those now. And if anyone has an iPhone 15 with the USB-C port on the bottom, they now also make those with a USB-C port on the bottom. So that works out pretty good. You don't have to buy another little dongle adapter thing for them.
Oh,
And there's a
okay. Yeah, that was
company-
going to be my next question. Thanks.
There's a company called J Labs, and they make single ear in-ear monitors that connect via Lightning, specifically for live events, which makes sense. I knew someone had to have made it. Looks like they're $14, and you can get them off of Amazon. And the name of the company is J, like Juliet Labs, LABS.
Well, thanks very much, both of you. I appreciate your help.
Yeah,
no
problem.
worries.
Good luck.
All right, I'm not going to guess. Area code 413, ending in 329. Lori, is that you?
It's Lori. Hi, Sheila.
Okay. Hey.
Mhm.
Hey, Lori.
Hey, Lori, how are you?
Hey, Mike. Hey, Michael. Hey, Marty. Hey, everybody. Well, to answer the question of the day, I like over-the-ear wired headphones, which I use for a lot of my electronics, but they're not made for cordless phones unless they have quarter-inch plug on the cable, which they do, but they don't fit my iPhone, which is unfortunate because they're very comfortable. Unfortunately, I blew them out by having the volume on my Library of Congress player up too high, and now they don't work. So I have to get a new pair, and I don't know what it is about those headphones, but I've blown out I don't know how many pairs of that.
Which
I used to
iPhone do you
wear.
have?
I have a SE 2020.
So if you get another set of those earphones, you can also get an adapter that goes over the 3.5 millimeter jack at the end of the headphones to either Lightning, which is what your phone would be. So essentially you'd put that little plug onto the end. You'd basically plug your headphones into that little dongle. And then you can take that little dongle and plug it into the Lightning port on the bottom of your phone.
Okay, yeah, because my charger goes into that same port. And earbuds came with my iPhone, but I don't like them. They keep popping out of my ears, and they're too slippery for my ear canals, I guess. So they keep popping out. So I end up wearing them around my neck, and I can't hear what is going on with my iPhone. So if I can get to the Apple store and have them fit that kind of adapter after I buy a new pair, I can do that. One caller mentioned single earphones for cordless phones. I mean, for iPhones. They used to make for, I want to say, flip phones or non-flip phones of yesteryear. They used to make, at least Verizon did, a one-ear headband headset, and I'm not quite sure what the tech name is for that, but it had a microphone, and you could plug that into your cell phone, and you could hear with one ear.
Yeah, that's kind of what this J Labs looks like. It is. It doesn't actually have a band that goes over or behind your head. It just sits in your ear, but it does look like they do have some that would go over your head or behind your head. So appreciate you bringing that up, and hopefully they'll be able to find something that helps them. So thanks a lot, Lori.
Oh, anytime. Thanks, Marty. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Lori. Have a good one.
You too.
All right, Bill Mills, you're up.
Hey, Bill.
Well, I hope I'm Juliana Bell on here.
You are.
You are.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to be sure. So there's just so much here, but first of all, to the earbud, to the buds, phone buds, whatever you call them, earbuds. I can't use those. I can use the ones that either have the sponge on them, the little outer sponge. I don't think they make those anymore. Each one is for the wired ones, the earbuds but I like the plastic ones, but they don't stay in my ear very well. I cannot take the headset, the heavy headset. It closes my ears. So I'm just in a bad way there. So, and Bluetooth is okay, but my favorite, getting back to the earbuds or whatever you want to call them, is aftershocks. Oh, it's just the most wonderful. And I found I found one that goes into the 3.5 millimeter jack. So, and it's a light one, but I don't know whether it's open. I don't think it's open moves. Now I bought open moves from AT Guys, but I need to buy the open, what is it? Open com or open run?
The open comms are the ones with the microphones.
Okay. What about the open run?
So Open Run and Open Run Pro are fairly similar. The biggest difference in them is the Open Run Pro is a couple of grams lighter than the Open Runs.
Okay, that's what I would want then.
Yeah, yeah. And the battery life is about 9.5 hours.
Is it better quality as far as listening to music?
Yes.
Good.
It's not going to be, you're not going to get a lot of
perfect, I know, but I mean,
end.
Yeah.
You're not going to get a lot of that low end because of the general technology, and that's just not possible, but it is going to sound better than the open moves for sure.
Okay. Another question. I'm using a microphone plugged into a 3.5 millimeter on this very old computer, my age, 70 years old. And of course, I'm kidding. But anyway, it's a very, very old computer. The microphone it's just super. I just love it. But the thing about it, I tried to use my iPhone not long ago, and I was not able to unmute, and I was right at the unmute, mute, and unmute button, but it would not unmute. What causes that?
So it could be several things. Was it on Zoom or?
It was on Zoom.
Okay. So there for a very brief period of time, and I can't tell you exactly what the dates were, but there for a very brief period of time, the Zoom application on iPhone was having some issues with displaying the OK button to confirm that your call was being recorded. And if you don't tap that OK button first, as I'm sure you know on Windows, you're not going to be able to unmute yourself. And I think that's what may have been going on is, did you get the OK button before you tried to hit the unmute button?
I think so. Is that the got it button?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I always do that. I try to, I have slipped up one or two times, but I really I'm conscious of that. But that was not the case that day. Okay. And I don't know what in the world happened, but I wanted so badly to get on a blind shell. I love, I'm very active with that.
Yeah.
There all the time.
Unfortunately, there could be a lot of different things that was causing it. All I can recommend is try it again from your iPhone, and hopefully it'll work next time. And make sure to get that OK or got it button in order to unmute yourself, and try that out and see if that works. And if it continues to be an issue, you can always send an email to access@zoom.us, and that'll send you right to the accessibility team for Zoom. And you can provide them feedback based on not being able to unmute on the iPhone using VoiceOver.
Okay. Thank you.
No worries, Beth. Thanks a lot for reaching out, and you have a beautiful rest of your day.
Judy.
Hey, Judy.
Hey guys, I am on my 3.5 millimeter Skull Candy earbuds, and I will occasionally go onto calls with them. I'm told the microphone sound is great. They are comfortable. I typically will only use them when I'm traveling paratransit or whatever, because I can keep my phone in my purse and just have the microphone in case I want to talk to somebody or use Siri. I've had to replace them once in maybe 8 years, maybe longer. They're just phenomenal. My cousin gave me his when I got my first iPhone 100 years ago, and I have never used anything else. I mean, I see no reason to use anything else. These are phenomenal. Like I said, they're really comfortable. The audio quality is great. So yeah, I mean, no complaints at all, and the durability is incredible. There's nothing wrong with them at all.
Awesome.
Good.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, I like Skull Candy too. They're awesome headphones.
Yeah, they sure are. So that's my 2 cents.
All right.
Thanks.
Well, thanks. Have a great one.
You too. Thanks.
All right, Randall.
Hey, Randall.
Yeah, good morning.
How are you?
Yeah, I've had a wonderfully helpful check writing and envelope printing software in the past on Windows. Had it working for Windows 7. than Windows 10, although it was from a company called Starsoft, but it was only partially accessible. The setup had quite a bit of difficulty in getting them set up. Never could get the envelope printer to work on Windows 10. Then after the laptop died, I got Windows 11, and I having, great deal of trouble getting the check writer set up, on their trial version. And I guess I'll keep trying, but it seems like something a blind community needs about as much as anything. That's about the only software I could find, really. Well, just to explain, they got a lot of business software where they print out whole sheets of checks, but this just prints on individual your normal bank checks, just fills in the amounts. And I mean, is any other software that anyone knows of?
There used to be a software, and I'd love it if someone raised their hand and let us know if they're using software to print checks, because I don't know of one on Windows. I'm gonna be fully transparent with you. I have my bank print the checks for me, so I don't print checks directly. So that could be a solution for you too, to use like bill pay, and then they would write the checks on your behalf, and you can send those to individuals. If someone has a suggestion for check printing software, please raise your hand, because I don't have that answer.
Yeah, just appreciate being able to ask.
Yeah, thanks, Randall. No problem.
That Starsoft works, just getting it set up. And, it's helpful. You just get a contractor come in to do some work and, be able to.
That way you can just give them a check right there and not have to wait. Yeah, I get that.
But thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. Good luck to you. And we'll keep an eye out.
Monica.
Hey, Monica.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. I wanted to let you know that I love using my wired QC35 Bose headphones for listening to almost everything. And I'll also use the earbuds that came with the iPhone. So my two questions, well, I have a couple questions, but they're easy for you to answer. One is, can you talk about Club Unmute, and is there an annual plan? And two, you mentioned the podcast where someone talked about Paprika 3, and I don't remember which one that was, but it was on last week's episode. I think you mentioned it.
Digital Bites is the podcast it was on. It comes out every Sunday. So I think it was last Sunday's episode. So you can go back in the Unmute feed and find last week's Digital Bites, and I think that's where Paprika was. It might have been the week before, but I want to say I think it was last week. It's in the past couple of weeks, no more than that.
Perfect.
And then Club Unmute is a membership to Unmute, and we have a couple of extra shows that we do behind the scenes. We have something similar to this, one day a month, and then we also have classes that are being offered. So right now we're working on Reaper and learning how to use Reaper for editing your podcast specifically. It's like an introduction. So we're starting at 101. So if you're new to Reaper and you're wanting to learn how to use Reaper and edit your podcast or stuff like that, that's what we're doing right now. We've had the first one last Wednesday. Number 2 is tomorrow. And then in the coming months, we're going to be doing Introduction to Braille. And after that, we're going to be doing I have that backwards. We're going to be doing Introduction to JAWS. Then we're going to be doing Introduction to Braille. So those are going to be coming in the next few months. And we're going to be having some other things going on as well. But in terms of payment, it's $3 a month and you get everything. Or if there's just one particular class, for example, say you only want to take JAWS and nothing else, then it would be a flat fee of $25 and that would be it. And you would just get access to only that one particular class, and that would be all. But that's how it goes.
If you go to unmute.show, you can get information. We do not offer an annual plan at this time. And in the search field, if you type in food, which is my favorite word to type, it'll pop right up for the Paprika 3 that was published on February 18th.
Thank you.
No worries.
All right, Stacy.
Hey, Stacy.
Stacy.
one of my questions, and I know this is a daring question to find something like this, but I'm in the market for a kind of a different kind of computer, but I'm taking a shot in the dark and wondering if there's something out there like this, but I don't like these newfangled computers where there's so little space between the keys on these newfangled keyboards. But I want a laptop, and my hands are so darn dinky, but I'd like to see a QWERTY keyboard where there's some space in between the letters, but I want something I can easily carry around like a laptop. So I'm wondering if there's a specialized computer with the proper window function with a Perkins Braille keyboard on it, and but it has the usual Windows software, the with a Braille keyboard attached to it, with the Windows keyboard software and the JAWS or whatever for Windows 11 with the latest updates on it, but with a Perkins keyboard on it.
Yep. So I would look up the L Braille. I believe that has a Perkins style keyboard and it's running Windows on it. And that'll also give you Braille output. Otherwise, the other option for you would be to go with a 16-inch laptop. Computers for the Blind, I believe, offer those as well. That'll have a bigger QWERTY keyboard that will give you the flexibility of being able to type and feel all the keys. But if you specifically want a Braille input, look up the L Braille, and that's 2 words, okay?
The L Braille?
Yep, L like Lima, Braille, L Braille.
L Braille.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, and that would be, how much would it be for one?
I don't have pricing. You'll need to look that up because it does vary dependent on when you purchase.
L Braille.
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks. I can think about that, and or a regular QWERTY keyboard.
Yep. Look up a 16-inch laptop, and that'll give you more space on your keyboard. Yes, ma'am. All right. Thanks, Stacy.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, guys, you got 10 minutes.
All righty.
All right.
Susan.
Hey, Susan.
Hey, Susan. How are you?
Hi, everybody. I'm having a puzzling situation that I hope you can help me with. I am a new iPhone user, and I've told Siri to call my home phone number. I dictate it number by number, and it doesn't call my home number. Instead, it calls somebody across the country. I'm in Phoenix, and the person it's calling is in Tampa, Florida.
So what you need to do when you want to have your phone call the name of something, like for your home, for example, what you would want to do, and this also will prevent errors, you want to go into the address book and label it home and then put the phone number in there and save that into your contacts. Then when you activate Siri and you say call home, it will just call your home.
Okay, but what I was telling Siri was the actual numbers to dial. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0.
You could try to continue to do that. It might not be perfect all the time. Siri sometimes could be intermittent or maybe do some weird stuff. But the way to make it so there's not any issues is to create a new contact and just either put it only in the first name. You just put home in the first name spot right there. And then you just go down and put the phone number in. And you can even label it home or whatever you want to label the number. And then you save the contact. And in that contact, that'd be the only information that's in there. But at least that's in your phone now. And so when you say call home, it'll know to call home. Okay. Because it's going to search your addresses before it goes out to the internet.
Let's say I'm calling a number that's not in my contacts, but it's calling somebody else.
So how are you telling it to call? Are you saying call 456-789-0000?
Yes.
And you're saying it with that cadence? You're not pausing in between numbers too much?
Correct. And it's calling somebody across the country consistently. It keeps calling her.
Then I don't have an answer for you because I think something is mixed up there. In this instance, I would reach out to Apple Accessibility and say, hey, I'm a voiceover user. Here's the phone number that I'm trying to call.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Siri is not calling it. One last question. When you tell it to call, are you saying the area code in the phone number? Or are you saying
Yes, I
the
am.
area
And
code in the phone number?
I'm saying the area code. My area code is 480. The area code it's calling is 813. And I'm not using voiceover. I'm just using the phone as is without voiceover. And it's doing.
Something you might want to check. This could happen, I guess, but it wouldn't necessarily be out of the question. But what you could do is you can search your contacts and see if the number that it's calling all the time somehow got saved in your contacts. And if it did, you can delete that contact and then create a contact with just home labeled for your home and your phone number. Because I wonder if somehow there's a contact in your phone that sort of either saved that number or somehow got in there. When you say calling home, it thinks that phone number is attached to it and it's continuously calling that number.
Right.
So that would be another thing to look at, is to check your contacts and make sure it didn't get saved in there.
I think I might have myself as home, but I haven't been saying call home. I've been saying call the number. And the 813 number that it is calling is a friend of mine who I've woken up in the middle of the night when I've lost my phone and I'm trying to find it with the other phone. So I guess I should check her name and see if somehow it got my number attached to it.
Well, here's another hint for you really quick that solves a different problem.
How did her number get attached? I don't know who's attached to what.
Well, here's another quick tip for you to solve the problem of having to wake people up in the middle of the night. If you turn on your phone, hey, S lady, I'm not going to say it out loud because it'll activate everyone's stuff. If you ever lose your phone and you can't remember in your house where you put it down, all you have to do is yell out, hey, S lady, and then she'll make a noise. You can ask what the weather is, or ask what time, or anything you want, just to get it to make a noise. So that
except that it wasn't S lady that I lost. It was my home phone that I lost. So I was trying to find where did I leave it.
On your base station, you might have a thing that'll make it beep, and then you can go find it that way.
Yeah. All right.
Good
Best of luck, and
I don't
thanks
know why
for
it's
that.
doing this, but I'll check my listings. Thank you.
Okay. Yep.
All right. We are not going to get to all these hands because you got 5 minutes.
Okay.
Diane Scalzi.
Hey, Diane.
Hey, Diane.
Yeah. Someone was asking about a program that will print checks. For many years, my husband has used, I think it's called Quicken. And, he used to print checks with that all the time. Now, I don't know how accessible it is with a screen reader, for example. I've never tried it. I've never had experience, so my husband still has some sight. And so he can, print checks without having to use voice or over. But I will say that we have been trying our darndest to avoid having to print checks. We have gone quite electronic as far as paying our bills, and having them taken out of our bank account, using PayPal, using what's that other thing, Zelle. And, we both just find that to be so much easier. But when Joe has to print a check, he still rolls out that I think it's Quicken program and, prints his checks that way. So it might be worth checking out and seeing if you can find out how accessible it is and whether it's even still available. I don't know, but that's what we have. That's what we use when we have to use something.
Perfect, Diane. Appreciate that. So yeah, check out Quicken, and that might help with being able to print checks. So thanks a lot for that.
All right, you've got one more new hand. So
all right, let's take that last new hand.
Nora.
Hey, Nora.
Nora, you're muted.
Yeah, hi. I'm sorry. Yeah, I am. Yeah, hi. I have a question with my smartphone that I have, the Android smartphone. I'm wondering if I want to write to someone, like text somebody, I'm wondering how I can enlarge my keyboard, the built-in keyboard on my smartphone.
So due to the limited time, I'll give you a brief overview of something to look at, and that might help you. If it doesn't, feel free to come back next week and we can help you further. Where I would go is if you go to the Gboard settings, and if you don't have Gboard, then go to the Play Store and install Gboard. But you can go in and make the keyboard bigger in the Gboard settings. So you want to locate Gboard, go into settings, and then you should be able to make that bigger and take up more of the screen for you.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
No worries, Nora. Thanks a lot for your question. And Marty, you want to wrap it up?
Thank you.
Okay, maybe we lost Marty. So thanks everyone for tuning in. We appreciate Belle and Sheila for your help today. Don't forget to check out unmute.show for more information and to get a replay of today's content and additional content available. There's also the link to Club Unmute there. We will not be back next Tuesday. However, we'll be the following Tuesday. So just realize there's not an error in your schedule. If you don't see Unmute on the 5th, we are not here that day. Thanks a lot, Sheila and Belle, and each and every one of you for joining us today, and have a beautiful rest of your day.
Okay, everybody.
Thanks, y'all.
Have a great
Bye.
afternoon. I'm going to end it for all.